värjer de igen.
Jody and Joe run a UK-based van life travel channel documenting long journeys across Britain and Europe in their self-built camper van. On March 20th, 2023, while parked at a remote campsite in the Netherlands during the day,
Joe's apparently seen something that I have to see, so he's taking me and wants to film my reaction. Well, what is it? Is it something positive or negative?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a sex thing or if it's a weird thing. Are you ready?
Joe notices something unusual nearby and decides to film Jody's reaction, uncertain whether what he has found is harmless or something that could shift the atmosphere entirely.
What is that? Oh, that's a sex thing.
Oh, that is disgusting.
As Jody takes a closer look, she realizes a human-shaped object has been left out in the open near the campsite, an abandoned sex doll. Her reaction quickly moves from confusion to discomfort once the extent of the damage and wear becomes clear.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
That is a fully...
That's a sex doll. And someone's worn out the arm.
There's a sex doll here. I'm more concerned at how, brutalized it is.
What unsettles her most isn't the object itself, but the fact that someone intentionally left it there, raising questions about intent and safety in such an isolated area.
Someone needs a therapist. Massively. Great about sleeping here tonight. There's clearly a sex offender around.
Later, she describes the campsite as one of their more uneasy stops, not because of darkness, but because of its isolation and how the discovery stayed on her mind.
So tonight we're staying at our second scariest campsite. This one is absolutely pitch black. It doesn't look like there's anyone for a mile anywhere. So I just got stopped by a lovely couple over there, gave me a quick interrogation. He said we should be all right to stay for the night. And then he told me he's a policeman. So the policeman said we can stay here. I think we'll be all right.
That same day, a local couple approaches to ask whether they are allowed to park. One mentions he is a police officer, reassures them that overnight parking is permitted, and later returns with fresh croissants, easing the earlier tension. Objects left in remote locations aren't always a threat, but deliberate placement can heighten fear when human intent is involved. If something unsettling is left behind to be found, is it simply neglect or a subtle warning meant for someone nearby? The Men's Life is a van life and travel channel focused on life on the road, remote exploration, and abandoned locations. On December 29th, 2022, Lomar returns during the day to a secluded area in the Halifax region he had previously explored at night, including an abandoned cabin deep in the woods, expecting better visibility. But sensing early on that something still felt off. As he moves closer to the cabin, faint voice-like sounds seem to carry through the trees, unsettling.
Yo, what's going on, my beautiful family? Welcome back to my daily life vlog. Today, I decided to return back to a aeronautical location where I came here with Blake, and we found a cabin literally down there. I think it's a hunting cabin. Don't know whose it is or what it's truly used now, but we got back last night. I decided to come back out. Mysterious. Did you hear that? I swear to God, I just heard something already. So the cabin is literally right there.
Given how isolated the location is, the cabin looks empty, yet trash scattered across the porch suggests recent human presence, making Lomar feel like he's being watched.
Link it down below, but we straight up stumbled across this at nighttime. Makes me a little bit nervous because I really don't know whose it is or who has rights to it. Hello? Somebody in there? So sketch. There's antlers on the top. The hell? Someone definitely came recently. I remember a bunch more cans up there. As of right now, I feel like I'm being watched. instantly.
He recalls that during an earlier visit, people may have been hiding nearby to frighten him, raising questions about why anyone would remain in such a remote spot.
So I actually think the last time we came here, people were actually down here trying to scare us out. Like, I don't know if people are tenting out down here, but I think we made it to this bend. Okay. All right, I need a quick break. What is that banging sound? Sounds like someone's ripping something apart. I seriously don't know what is out here, but I definitely feel like I'm being watched. So you guys could vicariously live through us.
Loud banging noises begin echoing through the forest, leading Lomar to launch a drone to scan the area. He briefly considers that a distant factory could be the source, but the sounds don't fully match that explanation.
Holy smokes, look at that. So that's where I came from, I guess. What the? That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing some sort of factory. But if I turn more around, it just keeps going on.
As he heads back toward the cabin, a sudden loud bang goes off nearby, followed by movement and a sharp whistle from close range.
I do know for a fact that we were sent here for a reason. What the what's that? I was in the middle of a... Like, I get the sense that people come here and do really weird things. The hell was that? Straight up heard movement behind me. I think someone's down there. Like right over there. I don't know, that was really weird. That sounded like it came from the path. Sorry if I seem a little bit stuffed up. Still got the aftermath COVID, so apologize if I'm a little bit still sniffly.
Convinced someone is close, Lomar runs, climbs to higher ground and hides, while listening to footsteps and continued noise below.
I think I gotta get out of here. I think there's one individual here somewhere. I get the sense that there's like at least one. I don't see anybody. Oh shit! Oh. They just noticed me. They just noticed me. Okay. Okay. I don't know if they're coming. I don't know if they're coming.
Eventually, he makes his way out and leaves the area safely.
Whoever that is right down the path. Okay. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. What is that person doing down there? This is so fucked up. Oh my god. I'm gonna leave this recording for a bit. I straight up don't think I can leave at all. Oh my god. Okay. My instincts were seriously right. I knew there was someone here. Oh. What the fuck? What the okay. Oh my god. Please do not. I'm literally tearing right now, guys. I think someone's trying to actually find me. There's no dog, there's no nothing. try and make a run for it. Okay. I think he went back farther down that way, because I did not hear anybody come down. Holy shit. I'm just gonna end this here. Love you guys so much.
No one has ever seen, but the experience highlights how abandoned places can attract unpredictable activity and how unfamiliar sounds can intensify fear. If someone was deliberately signaling or watching him, was it harmless intimidation or a warning that he wasn't meant to be there? The next clip is from Paranormal Chambers, a UK-based channel that explores haunted locations, paranormal encounters, and other unexplained events. On July 4th, 2025, the team entered Haunted Grove Woods to investigate a hidden World War II bunker long linked to strange activity and reports of ghostly sightings.
Hit my hand. Just keep on. Oh! I'm getting some at then. Oh, it's not. I don't know if they can see when the light's on it.
Are you still with us?
If you're still here, can you step towards this device again? The green light. The green light. Do that?
There's something.
Oh, like footsteps walking towards us. If that was you, can you do that again for me, please? Let's hear your footsteps again.
Cross.
Cross.
Convent.
Ooh, convent.
Convent. Would the school have been run by nuns? The
Yeah.
schoolhouse, would that have been run by nuns maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just had cross and convent come through, guys, so we'll have to do a little bit of research and see if there's any relevance of that to this area.
Leaving.
Oh, don't leave. Come back. We'd like to talk with you a little bit more if we can. Can I maybe walk back over in that area?
Yeah, go on.
And just where we thought we heard something before, where it told me to go before. If I walk back over here, this is the area you wanted me to come into before. Right, I'm over in this little area on my own.
What began as routine spirit box sessions quickly intensified into a moment that left one investigator convinced something violent had just occurred nearby. For hours, the crew conducted spirit box scans while monitoring REM pods and EMF devices, receiving occasional responses that suggested intelligent interaction. The equipment repeatedly signaled a presence nearby and guided the team's focus toward a specific area of dense undergrowth. Relying on those readings, one investigator, Sarah, separated from the group and moved into the shadowed brush.
Area on my own. Yeah. What the What was that? Like literally, what was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. I just actually nearly died.
I don't know.
Oh my god. What was that? What was it?
Something went bloody bonkers.
Oh, there's nothing there though.
No.
Right, I'm over in this little area on my own. Yeah. Right, I'm over in this little area on my own. Yeah. Oh, right, that scared me a bit.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Sarah. Still. Yeah, do you know, like I say, I never run, guys. I think I run. What was it?
I don't know what it was.
I was literally in there and it felt like the whole of the bush just started shaking round me. Thing is, everywhere's so still as well. You go in and see if anything happens to you in there. Oh, REM pod again. REM pod again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Could you do that again for us, please? See, there's nothing now, is there?
No.
It honestly felt like the whole of everything were just shaking round me all at once. That were really bizarre, guys. Honestly felt like everything was shaking all around me. I jumped out of my skin. I think I was just actually asking for something as well. Well, I suppose if you ask, you get, don't you? Right, can you tell me who it was who's just made all that move in there, who made me jump? I'm sorry that I reacted like that. I was startled.
While the devices continued to activate. As she stood alone in the clearing, the vegetation suddenly burst into motion. Branches, cracked bushes shook aggressively, and the entire area appeared to move from within, as though something had rushed out from all directions at once. Sarah panicked and ran back toward the group, visibly shaken and convinced the whole thicket had come alive around her. When another team member checked the exact location moments later, it was completely still. No people, no animals, nothing to explain the disturbance. Still unsettled, Sarah admitted she nearly stopped the investigation right then. The fact that their equipment had repeatedly indicated that exact spot before the incident made it even more disturbing. With REM pod alerts continuing to trigger, the team left Haunted Grove Woods with a strong sense of being watched and the feeling that whatever remained near the bunker did not want them there. This next clip didn't come from a horror channel, not even remotely. It's from Tomorrow's Garden, a YouTube channel focused on gardening advice, indoor plant arrangements, outdoor growing spaces, and tools for cultivation, relaxing, peaceful content. But on May 9th, 2015, something far from calming took place. At first, the footage appears completely normal, the creator walking through the forest pointing out mushrooms he had discovered. Then everything shifts. Whatever produced that sound.
Well, there's certainly no shortage of the pheasant back mushrooms out here. You can see here's one, and then one over here. They look really nice. And then just looking around here in the distance, that tree has a bunch, and then this log over here has a bunch. Take a walk over there. These look pretty big. Yeah, look how big that one is down there. It's got to be about 12 inches across. And this one looks like it has a bite out of it. And this one. And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
Is not something anyone would want to encounter. The scream is drawn out and guttural sounding, as if it came from something deep and unnatural. And many viewers seem to agree it would take an enormous set of lungs to create a sound like that. Which brings up an obvious question: how large would something have to be to make that noise? And even stranger, why did it happen right as he approached those mushrooms? Could the mushrooms have some significance, something unusual, or even protected by wildlife? Or was it simply meant as a warning? There may never be a clear answer, but one detail stands out. The man immediately turned around and left, likely the smartest decision he made that day. One comment humorously pointed out that horror movie characters rarely make that choice, highlighting just how quickly he avoided potential danger. So what do you think? Something beyond explanation, or just an unsettling animal? Call. You often notice details others miss, so share your thoughts below. On February 15th, 2020, the YouTube channel High Gear, known for raw off-road and dirt bike encounters, uploaded one of its most chaotic clips to date. The footage follows a solo rider named Vladimir during a quiet afternoon ride until an unexpected encounter with two locals turns it into a tense confrontation. The video begins calmly, the sound of wind, the engine humming, and a wide stretch of green field ahead. Vladimir stops briefly before two men appear walking toward him.
All the people around. Here is a very. Oh, what a nice bike, man. And it's feeling very, very right there. There is some people. Ra. Kaj vi? Kaj? A kaj narobe? Saj ne delamo škode, saj sred zime, prijat. Pa trava še zmer pizda. Ja, to ne kosijo zdaj kmeti, veš, to je še lepo, tle, a ne. Ti riješ tukaj zemljo, posebno zemljo. Nisem. Prav greš pogledat, vse, a je tvoje drugače? Jelik moje, ampak ima veze. Ja. Ja, ne moreš kratko se tukaj fuljati. Zakaj ne? Kaj ni tvoje? Ja, mislim, saj če ni škode, ni panike, ali? Stari. Da ne grem, bom jaz šel počasi, prav. Dober, v redu. Kaj vidva drugače? A sta drva sekala, a? A? Kaj? Kako te baviti? Ja, sej grem.
Their tone is sharp and agitated. Within seconds, one of them knocks his dirt bike to the ground. Trying to remain composed, Vladimir lifts it back up and rides off along a forest trail. On-screen captions appear, mocking the men as angry, workless thugs and grass huggers. For a short time, it seems the situation has settled, but not long after he runs into them again, now blocking his path, visibly more aggressive.
Hej, fajn, proklet bil, kaj s tabo model? Pa ne vem. Si profuknen. Daj poberite se, pojďte kaj delat model, kaj z vami? Človek se ne more zabavati tukaj, ali kaj? Pizdaj, beš, pizdita model.
And his name is John C.
Tvoj prijatelj se pa nupa, a?
Bruh.
Sam dajte, daj umer ga pač ti magar. Čilite se. Pejt stran model, lega. Ti beš. Spizdite. Model. Odmakam ga, da je lahko jaz grem in to je to. Model. Profuknen si model.
They argue about the land. One man claims Vladimir is damaging the grass, while the rider insists he isn't causing harm, pointing out that it's winter and the ground is frozen. The tension escalates as voices overlap. The men move closer and Vladimir decides to leave. But as he turns back toward the open field, both men close in surrounding him. He tries to speed off, but the bike slips and goes down. The GoPro shakes violently as one man lunges forward, attempting to grab him. The shouting intensifies. A brief struggle follows. The footage turns chaotic, filled with engine noise, muffled movement, and heavy breathing. The men yell at him to leave. Vladimir mutters something under his breath, restarts the bike, and rides off into the forest, leaving the confrontation behind. Viewers were split. Some believed Vladimir was trespassing and provoked the situation, while others felt the locals reacted too aggressively. One comment summed it up well, pointing out that fighting someone wearing a helmet and protective gear is almost pointless. Vladimir never addressed the incident again, and the video ends without any clear explanation. Uploaded on May 16, 2025 by The Trek Planner, a channel focused on exploring ancient sites and remote canyons across the American Southwest. In this episode, Jeff follows his instincts into an isolated canyon, searching for traces of early human history. But what starts as a calm exploration soon shifts into something more unsettling, leaving viewers questioning what he truly encountered out there. Jeff begins his journey at sunrise, moving through rugged terrain guided only by GPS coordinates and instinct. The canyon stretches for miles, bordered by towering rock walls that appear untouched for centuries. Hoping to find ancient markings, he launches his drone scanning the cliffs for signs of petroglyphs or pictographs.
Well, none of that turned up anything. So I think I'm just gonna go all the way to my destination and maybe on the way back explore this stuff, but that's what I'm gonna do. Lots of rock art. There's water here, so that tells me a good indicator that there could be that stuff, but just not seeing it.
After several hours, he spots what look like faint carvings, possible early signs of human presence, or perhaps just natural mineral patterns. Still, it's enough to keep him going. As he ventures deeper, the silence becomes intense. Then, a sudden boom echoes off the canyon walls. Startled, he looks around but sees nothing. No smoke, no movement, only wind moving through the rock.
So something that got me a little spooked was I was flying the drone down there, maybe, I don't know, 400 feet or so, and I heard this really loud, like, boom, boom. And it came from like up this direction, and I thought it was like a cow like stomping or something. And so I dismissed it, and then as the drone, I was flying the drone, and I heard it again. I was like, doom, doom. And trying to figure out what would make that sound. There's no trails on top of this butte right here. So I heard it from like over here somewhere. And I flew the drone over there. I didn't see anything, didn't see any cows, didn't see anything, any movement or nothing. So I'm wondering if it's like something that came from above. I don't know, but it freaked me out. Like, what can make a sound like that in the desert? So I'm not going up this canyon. It's the Drum Canyon.
Continuing on, Jeff enters a side canyon where he discovers old inscriptions, names etched decades ago, like Jackie was here in 1967. The trace of human activity is there, but something feels off. As the light begins to fade, he heads back toward his bike, only to find the tire completely flat.
Oh, thank goodness you're still here. That's the best part, is I rode out here with pedal assist, and I didn't even bring down one tick in my battery. So now that I'm really tired, I'm just gonna throttle it the entire way home. So yeah, it's gonna feel great. I thought I was done with this adventure, but then something happened. Okay, so the craziest thing happened. So I got back to my bike, my tire was flat. So I was spending a couple of minutes, putting in the sealant and stuff, and all of a sudden I hear like this low rumble, and I'm like, oh no, what next? And I look in the distance and I see this dust cloud. I'm like, oh, somebody's coming. So this truck pulls up and he's like, whoa. He's like, I wasn't expecting anybody out here. And I was like, me neither. He's like, is anybody out here today? I'm like, no, nobody. He's like, whoa, what are you doing? And I was like, telling him, like, trying to solve a mystery. And he's like, were you hiking up any of these canyons? I was like, yeah, I went up that one, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, how far did you go up this one? And I'm like, pretty far, until the vegetation, was a little too much for me. And then he said, do you see the missile booster? I was like, what? Missile booster? What are you talking about? So I'm gonna check it out. Thought I was done, but I have to see this, even if it's just a couple pieces of it.
The video then cuts to Jeff. Explaining what happened next, a man had arrived in a truck surprised to see anyone there. The stranger asks if Jeff had come across a missile booster, an unusual question in such a remote area. Curious, Jeff follows the directions and soon comes across the burned remains of a large metal structure.
I see it. It's over there. I'm almost there. So random. Oh, look at that. It burned right there, right? I don't even know what this is supposed to look like. Okay, I'm like super red. Just as red as this rocket when it was blasting off. Look where we're at. Little canyon. Well, this is really cool. I'm glad we made the slow, steady leisure walk up here. It was worth it. Oh, look what I just found. Thiokol. That's who makes the rockets. Well, we found one of your top secret rockets. Oh my gosh, that stuff's in there.
So how did a Pershing II missile booster end up in this remote canyon? The Pershing II was a Cold War-era, nuclear-capable missile designed for fast, precise strikes. From 1979 to 1991, test launches were conducted nearby at a secret site. After launch, the booster would fall back to Earth and was usually recovered. But for some reason, this one was never picked up. It's been here ever since.
Well, why would they leave it here? Can you imagine that sound that would have made? Just this huge crash. I wonder if anybody saw it fall down. That was really cool though.
Fragments marked Theokol, the company behind the Pershing II missile used during the Cold War. Some viewers later speculated that the earlier explosion might have been tied to old military activity. Others shared unsettling desert stories about strangers who appear without warning and disappear just as quickly. One comment suggested that in remote deserts, someone always seems to be watching. Jeff never encountered the man again. Whether he was just passing through a former worker or something else remains uncertain. But one detail stands out: the discovery didn't feel random. As one viewer put it, Jeff wasn't wandering aimlessly. He was led there.